Hello, welcome back to my channel. All right, it's been a while though. Since we started our HTML journey, so far we've handled HTML1 for beginners, HTML for beginners 2, and in this video we are going to handle HTML for beginners 3. And this video happens to be an advanced layer of the previous video that we did. In the previous video that we did, we created a website template, okay, with some divisions, the header, the body, and the footer with some other subdivisions in them. All right. So in this video, we are going to create some similar thing using Bootstrap and other material stylings. Okay. So we are going to have we'll be handling external CSS, internal CSS as well, and internal inline CSS as well as we did previously. Okay. Yes. So at the end of the day, we should be able to, add images to the website that we've been working on. All right. Then right after this presentation, in the next video, we are going to start dealing with forms. Forms. All right. The main focus of the whole project is to develop an attendance system. Okay. But we paused a while and we started dealing with websites, develop website designs and other things here and there, just for you to introduce you to the UI. Okay, at the end of the day, you begin to appreciate or know how to design your UI. All right, that is why I've taken time to walk you through the HTML1 and 2 and this 3. Okay, so that is the concept. All right, this is going to be the concept. So as usual, we are going to pause and start our presentation. Okay, so see you soon in the classroom mode. Okay, so once the PHP stuff has been loaded, all right, once it's loaded, we create a new project. I'm going to create a new project, and to create a new project, we'll click on File, New Project. Okay, and you have to make sure that the location of your project is inside your either htdocs or the www folder. The htdocs, that is if you have installed the XAMPP, you make sure you navigate it to the htdocs, or if you have installed the WAMP, you make sure it is in the www folder. So let us walk through how to set the path. So over here, you click on the three dots here, the three dots next to the location field. You click on it, and this dialog will pop up. Then you set your navigation. Okay, so you search through your C file. Okay, you locate your C. Then if you have installed WAMP, you are going to see WAMP 64. But if you have installed XAMPP, you are going to see XAMPP here. Okay, then you expand this one, the WAMP. When you expand the one, I have installed WAMP. Okay, so I'll see WAMP and I'll locate to the www. All right, then I'll click OK. But if it was XAMPP, you will locate, after locating the XAMPP, you have to, and expanding it, you have to locate htdocs. Then you click OK. All right, so I click OK. So now I have it here like this. Okay, so in the project name, I will change the project name to HTML3. Okay, so as I'm typing the project name, you see that the project name has replaced itself here. So it means this path holds my project. Okay, if you don't put the project in this file, okay, in this folder, in this path, all right, you won't be able to access the PHP file that we are coming to create in your browser. Okay, so the PHP, the WAMP and the XAMPP serves as a server that enables the browser to load, to be able to read and interpret the script. Okay, and so just follow suit, and when you are done with the project name, just click OK. So you click OK, and yes, we want it to close this previous work that we did and open a new window for us. So we select yes, this window. So we wait whilst it loads, it launches the new project. All right, so we have a clean slate here now. We have a clean slate here. So we are coming to create our new content. All right, our new content. Okay, so what do we do first? In creating the PHP file, you right click on the main directory, then you navigate to new, then you navigate to PHP. Good. So since we are with our clean slate, okay, we are still on our clean slate. So this side serves as a signature to what we are doing. So we can just clear it off. Then since we are coming to embed HTML content within the PHP, we need to first close the open HTML PHP tag. So this is the open PHP tag. Okay, the less than question mark, then you bring your PHP that opens the PHP. So this one reads any other content after this open tag is should read PHP script. All right, so you have to close it first. So closing is question mark and a greater than sign. So I have closed it. All right, so whatever this within this block holds PHP scripts, outside the block I can put anything there. All right, so I'll create my HTML basic tags over there. All right, so from our last week presentation, we realized we have to bring our doc type, that's the document type, HTML, then we close it. Okay, so we have HTML, we should have the head, then we should have the body. Okay, all right, so inside the head, let me set the character set, meta character set UTF, okay, UTF-8. Okay, all right, so I'll save. So before we continue, we have to now get some files, the Bootstrap files that we'll be using. We have to go and get it from our website. All right, so do you remember during the installing prerequisite materials, we visited a site where we downloaded our content from? All right, the peregrine.peregrinehive.peregrinegh.com. So we'll go to that site. We'll go to that site again, then we'll try to download some files for this presentation. All right, so let's go to our browser. Okay, so you go to our browser and you type in peregrinehive.peregrinegh.com. Then this page will load up. Okay, so when it loads up, all you need to do is just provide these basic details. All right, just provide your details and submit. And if you already have if you've already provided your details, all you need to do is just click I already have an account. So when you click on it, this dialog will pop up. All right, then you just enter your email address or phone number. So email address, then I'll submit. So when you submit, this is our files that we downloaded during our installing prerequisite materials. All right, so now we'll go to Html5 files. So you click on Html5 files, then you have this. Okay, so this is the file that we are going to work on. We are going to download it and copy and paste it into the project that we just created. Then we now work with it. Okay, all right, so I have already downloaded this, but when you click on it, the download process will begin. So I'll pause it and continue. You see you have 2 here. I have already downloaded it. So what I'll do is I'll just pause it, but you allow it to download. Okay. So I'll assume I've already downloaded it. Okay. So I'll move to the next step. Good. So I'll just log out. Minimize. Then I'll go to my downloads. So I'll go to my downloads and I'll right click. I'm trying to copy. So I right click, select copy. Then go to my www. So to locating this one, I have to go to the C drive. Then click on the WAMP64. Then click on www. So as I said earlier, if you have installed XAMPP, you go to XAMPP, then you move to htdocs, then you see all your projects there. All right. Okay. So this is the project I just created, HTML3. So I'll open it, and I'll paste the copied file, the CSS file. I'll paste the copied file here. So we wait while the copying takes place. All right. So it's almost done. So we are done pasting it. So now let's try to extract the content. So in extracting this file, we right click on it. So I am using WinRAR, and for us to extract it, when I click on the file, I have this option, extract here. So I click on extract here, okay, and wait for it to be extracted. Wait for the file to be extracted. So once they are done, yeah, I think I have all of them here. Good. So these are the files that we are going to work with. Okay. So once we are done with this, we can just delete this one off. All right. So we go back to our project. Then we have them here. Okay. Great. So now what we are come to do is we are come to link some files. Okay. Remember we said we are going to do external linking. So we have CSS file here. We are going to link these CSS files onto this project. We are going to link some files from this JavaScript, JSS, these files onto the project. And we have some models that I've already worked on. So I'm going to also link them onto the project. All right, but this is PHP files. These are PHP files. So I'll show you how to also include PHP files on your project. All right, so that is the beauty of today's work. Okay, all right, so let's see how we are going to do it. So once these ones have been imported, all right, have been copied and extracted here, we come to our head. Then we bring our title. As usual, title. And the title, we'll name it HTML for beginners. That is our title. Then we now include the PHP. We include the PHP files. And the PHP files, as I said, we have here. So we have 1, 2, 3. So the last three, the last two, the page links and the previous links will be in the head. Then the down links will be inside the body. Okay. All right. That is a structure. So just do it as I'm teaching you. All right. So we have here include. Sorry, it's PHP. So we have to now call the PHP within the HTML. All right. So in doing that, we need to bring the opening and the closing tag of PHP. So we have our question mark here, PHP. Then we bring in include modules. Then we have page links. All right. So we'll do the same for the second one. The second one is previous links. All right. So we are done. I've linked these two onto the page. All right. I've linked the two onto the page. Now I have to go to the body and also link the down links here. All right. So when I'm done, I'll open all of them and show you what we are doing now. Okay. So I'll go to the body. I'll copy this and paste it here, just above the closing tag of the body, and now bring here down links. All right. So I've imported all the models. Okay, so now this is what we have done. So now if you look at these down links, when I click on it, they are all HTML files that I've kept somewhere. All right, I've kept them somewhere. And you see, they are all dealing with these files that we imported. If you see here jQuery, we have jQuery here. If you see a material login, we have material login here. If you see Suite Alert, we have Suite Alert here. So we are making good use of all the files that we imported. All right. So we've created a file and we've done them all there, and we are just calling them to our main page. Do you get it? It makes our code runs faster. Do you get it? And the code looks simpler. All right, it looks simpler. I don't have to bring in bulky links and other things. Okay, if you bring it here, it wouldn't spoil the project, but it's best to do it this way to make your work look neater, like nicer. All right. Okay, so now let's link some CSS files. So this CSS file, as in the intro video, I told you about external linking. These are all external linking. So this is how we link a page. You get it? A PHP on your page. Now I'm going to link CSS on our page too. Okay. So in doing that one, we introduce a link tag. So link, the relationship is style sheet. Style sheet because it's the style sheet, the CSS file diagram. And don't forget the CSS is cascaded style sheet. So the relationship is style sheet. And the reference, hyperreference, you are going to get it from CSS. Then we have the Bootstrap. So Bootstrap, we are going to deal with the first one. Then we are doing set 2. So I'll duplicate it and bring a second one. Okay. And what these things are that this Bootstrap comes from these Twitter guys. They develop these things and they've already predefined some set of styles. So let me open this first one, the bootstrap.css. You see, they are all styles that have already been predefined. So if you are using them, it means you have to know their styles and their keywords offhand. All right, it's very simple. You have to know them offhand. So as I scroll through, you get to see them. You're going to use them very soon. You see, we have tables here. We have text area. We have buttons, input. When you're dealing with the forms, you appreciate these ones. And we have some navigation bar, tables, dots. You see, they are being preceded by the dot. So we are dealing with the button, and dots also represent the classes. So if we define any attribute in a div core class, and we want to style it, we want to call it in a CSS file, in a CSS block, we have to call it using the dot preceding the name of the class. Okay. All right, so you appreciate this. So this is what the Bootstrap does. It has already predefined all like some content. There are a lot of them. Okay, a lot of them, making your work simple. So if you know how to use them, you realize the work becomes very easy, easy and looks nice. Okay, and it looks nice. You see how Twitter interface works. You see the Twitter interface is very nice. So they have a lot of things that they have embedded in here. So for us to also recreate them, that is waste of time. So we call something component reuse, and that is what you are implementing here. So you've already defined them. Then all we need to do is just to call them to our project. That's all. All right, that's all. So we are done with it. So let's also link in some JavaScript, a JavaScript file. So JavaScript is a script. So range script. The relationship is, this one uses the source. Source is JS Bootstrap. Yeah. Bootstrap.main.css. Yeah, that is what will be important. All right, so this file is located here. JavaScript. This is the file I just linked to the project. All right. Okay. So we are done with our links, external links. So what I've done right now constitute the external linking. All right. We've linked some files from other directories within the project. We call them external linking. So we've linked them to a project. All right. So we have external CSS. That is what we have done here. We can say external. This is another .css too. So we've linked CSS in different ways. All right. So when we start the project, we'll be doing inline 2 as well. Then going forward, we'll introduce the internal CSS 2. So let's run this file and see how it also looks. I think we should have a clean slate. All right. So let's launch it and see. So since it's a PHP file, when you launch this way, you need to clear this port number here. But if you have assigned a port number to your Apache or XAMPP in your control panel, you have to make sure you bring the port number here too, else it won't run. My own is not on any port number, so I'll clear this default port number here and run it. So I have my title here, HTML for beginners, and as usual, I have a clean slate here. So now let's put some content on this clean slate. Okay, so I'll minimize this, then we start the work. Okay, so now I'll break my div here. I'm dealing with a header, and now I'm introducing an attribute called class. Okay, and the class, I'm going to divide the class into 12. So 12 columns. So column, small, medium, 12. Okay, then let me bring some styles in here. All right, so I'll set the height to 70 pixels. Then you bring the semicolon. The semicolon is very important. If you don't bring the semicolon here, it will trigger an error. All right, so we bring the semicolon. Then we set the background color to black. Okay, all right, then we open it. So let's save it, Control S, or you click on these ones. However, if you install the PHP Storm for the first time, this toolbar will not appear. So in order for you to make it appear, you click on View, then you click on the toolbar. Make sure it is selected before you get it. Okay, all right, so you click on Save, then we go to our browser and check what we've done. Okay, so the the header has been created. So now let's put an image and some text, on the header before we continue. All right, so we minimize. Then since we don't have image here, let's create a directory here where our images will be kept. All right, so in doing that, we right click on the main directory, the HTML_3. We right click on it, we go to new, then we click on the directory. So in the directory name will be images. Click on OK. We have it here now. All right, so you search through our pictures. Okay, we search through our pictures. We go to Pregnant Hive. Then let's click on this. We right click on it. Then we copy. Then we go to the images. We right click. Then we paste. Okay. Sorry. We paste it. Okay. All right. So now let's try to put this image that we just copied into the header. All right, into the project. So we try to create another subdivision within, because we have already defined the header to be 12 columns. So you can pick any of the columns from 1 to 12 itself. All right. So we first define the first column. Div class columns small media 2. Okay, 2. Okay, so if this one is 2, let's duplicate it. Then let's make this one the next one 5, and another one 5. Okay, so we have the 12, we have 5, 5, 2. Okay, so we have the 12 here. All right, so in the first one, which is the 2, I'll bring the cursor here and click enter. Sorry, and hit on the enter key. So I'll put the image tag in there. All right, I'll put the image tag in there. So the image is img, the source is in the images, images directory, then for the file name is nlogo. All right, then I'll set a style with the width of the image. So the width of the image will be, let's set it to 35%. Okay, then we close the image tag. So let's save it, Control S, or you just click on this, synchronize and save. Then we go to the browser and let's see what we have done. Voila! So we have our image here. So this is how we put images on a browser, on a content. Do you get it? On our website content. So now let's put a defined image text here. All right, we want one text to be moving from left to right. You know, when you go to some website, you'll be seeing some text moving down to up, left to right, and vice versa. All right, so we want to do something like that here to make our header busy. Okay, so first one, let's write something here. Let's write something something here like a welcome something, then a motto, the motto of our website that we are creating. All right, so we'll do that in these 2 divs. This is the reason why we created the 2 divs here. So in the first one, the second div, I'll bring here a paragraph. So I'll bring the P here. Okay, then I'll bring in some styles. So let's introduce a style attribute. So we are putting a text in. So the text color supposed to be white, semicolon. Then we set a font size. The font size to be 20 pixels. Okay, then we set the margin top. The margin top to be, let's say, 3%. Okay, then our content is supposed to be welcome to my first website. All right, so let's see how this one appears on the header. So reload, and this is how it comes. Okay, so let's push it to the center. So in the center, we bring a semicolon here, then we set a text align to center. That's all. So we reload it again, and let's see how it appears. So it's in the center of that div. Okay, so we define it to 5. So it will start from somewhere here, okay, where it is, and end somewhere here. All right. Okay, so now let's bring our other one, the motto here, which is going to, you know, scroll from right to left. All right, that one is an old tag that, I don't know, it still works though. We call it marquee. It still works though. So let's introduce the marquee, marquee, marquee. All right, then we bring in the style attribute. We set the color to white. Then we set the margin top to 3%. Then we set the font size to 19 pixels. Okay, we close it. Then our content here to be, it is awesome. And we smile. Okay, so let's save it. Synchronize, save. Let's save it, and now let's see how it will look. It will appear. Okay, fine. So this is what you want to do. So you want the content to be swinging from the right to left. All right, the right to left. But you see, the speed is very fast. The speed is very fast. So let's try to reduce the speed. So in reducing the speed, we use the attribute scroll amount to reduce the speed. All right. So we go back to the codes, and we introduce another attribute here called scroll amount, and we set it to 2. Okay, so 2, let's save it and let's see. So when we reload, to bring it down, so it will tone it down. So you see it's now moving in a slower pace. Okay, all right, so you can add more. You can search and add more. You can play with these things here. You can choose to also bring some menu buttons here and a whole lot of things. All right, okay, so this is it. Okay, so let's bring another image on our in the body. Okay, let's bring an image somewhere here. Okay, let the image occupy this place and put our overview about us and something here. Then we create something small down here too. Okay, so let's add some few components in here, then we are done. Okay, all right, so in doing that, we leave the head. Then we now create another div class. We set that one to col column small medium, and we set it to 12. Okay, then with that we have the 12. We have set it to 12. Okay, so now let's create some divs in there. So you have two major divs. Okay, two major divs. One will be containing the bigger image, the other ones will contain subdivisions of divs in there. Right, so we can set this one to class column. So you see, Bootstrap uses the columns. All right, in our previous video we're doing width, height, and all those things, but you see, with the help of the Bootstrap, it's making it very simpler. We just call them because it has already been defined. All right, so we just call them and just set it on like that, 6. So let's make this one 6 because the whole div is 12. Okay, so if you notice, we hardly set width on the divs that we've been creating. Okay, but previously we were setting width and giving the definite height and all those things, but here we have limited height defined, and the width on the divs have been taken off because the width are replaced with the columns. That's the beauty of Bootstrap. Okay, and it's very flexible. All right, we are not using floats and other things here. We just set it and just pick it like that. So that is a beauty. Okay, all right, so we have 6 here, and the other side too, let me make it 6. Okay, so depending on the size of the image. So now let me put another image in here. Okay, but the image, let me go and copy it. Let me use this one. I'll copy and paste it in my images. Okay, so let me make it img1. I just renamed it. Okay, the name is lengthy. Okay, all right, so I have the img1 here. So now let me bring it here. So I'll set my image tag img. The source is image, then image1. Okay, so then I'll close it. So let me run it and see how the image will look like. Whoa, it's occupying the entire page. We don't want it that way, right? Yeah, we don't want it that way. So what you're going to do is you're not going to set the width for it. Style, we'll give it a defined width. So let's set the width to 50%. The image cannot play with us. So reload and we have it here at 50%. But let's try to see the border of this one. Okay, the border of the div that contains the image. Reload. Okay, so we have this as big as this, and this image is playing with us like that. Okay, so now let me make this view. Let me enter presentation mode. Okay, so that you see the broader picture of it. Okay, so where have I got into? So I'm here now. Okay, I'm here now. So let's set this one to 100% and see. We're now going to play with it to make sure. Good. Perfect. So we've set it to 100%. All right. All right, so now let's remove this border. We just wanted to see how it will appear. So we've taken the red border off. Taking the red border off, but let's bring this one to the further edge. Let me change this one to row and see. And see if it will go. Yes. So I think the row is working. I want them to be in line. Okay. So I just changed from the column here to row. Okay, to row. And I have that. So in this div, in this final div, okay, in this final div, I'm going to divide this div into 3 main divs as well. Okay, so this one will serve as a container, and I have 3 main divs in there, which is going to have our about us, mission and vision and all those things. Okay, good. So what we want to appreciate is just add images to our work, our content. That's all. All right, but we can't just do it raw like that. So we just have to put some 1 or 2 contents on there so that it will at least appear nice to us. All right, we could have just ended there by just putting the images here. All right, okay, so let's see. So let's divide this one into other divs class. So we set it to row. All right, row 1, 2 and 3. All right, okay, so now let's bring our h1 here, h4 will be big, and let's make this one about us. Let's save, Ctrl S, and run it and see how it will appear. Okay, good. So it's appearing here. So let's set it to the center. All right, let's set it to the center. So h4, we'll introduce a style, then we set the text alignment to center. Okay, it looks like the h4 is too small, so let's make it h3 to the center. So we have it to the center. All right, then we can have our paragraph. Then as usual, we just enter anything, not to scale. We are just entering something there. Okay, just entering something there, just to occupy the space. All right, good. We are just occupying this space. Okay, all right. Then let's do same for the about us and other things, the overview and other things. So we'll just do copy and paste. Copy, then we paste this one here. You write this one vision. Okay, our vision. Then let's paste the same thing here and call it our mission. Call it our mission. We have the last one, but let's see how this 3 appears first. Okay, so this is how they are appearing. Okay, so we have your image here and we have your other content here. Okay, so let me reduce the content flow. Just for the beautification of what you are doing. Okay, so let me bring this image down a bit. Let me bring the image down a bit. So here I'll introduce margin top. Let's say 2% from the top. you should move 2% from the top. All right, so this is something simple that we have just developed. Okay, so you see, is the website becoming meaningful. So we have your image here. You can also put your own image there. Then you can put your divs, sub divs here. If you remember last week, we created a div within divs. All right, in our previous video, we created divs within divs. So this is the same thing that we have done here. Okay, so you can put we can put one other div here and define it to be different thing. Let's do another one here and make it like an overview. Okay, an overview. You can put the images anywhere that you want it. Okay, so we'll take this one off. All right, so here you see this div corresponds to this one, this main container. So I'll create another div down here. I'll bring the class and I'll call it a row. Okay, then I'll just bring h1, h3, I'll call it overview. Okay, but let me set this background, the background color of this div to style background color to which color would be nice. Let me just scroll through, and okay, let's set it to this kind of gold orange family. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, all right, so let's check it out. So this is how it came. So now let's bring the overview to the center. Okay, let's push the overview to the center. So we bring the style, then we set the text align to the center. Okay, we reload, we have it to the center here. Then we can now begin to put our content in here, a lot of them. So we can also bring our P, our paragraph, then we just enter something, not to scale, not anything meaningful. Okay, so let's bring them in. So let's see how they will appear. Let's save, Ctrl S, then let's reload. So this is how we came. You want them to be in the center. You want them to be center aligned. So on the P, what we'll do is to bring a style here and set the text alignment to the center. That's all that we are doing. So we save and reload, and we have it in the center. So you see, basically we have created a certain template. Okay, we have created a certain template with image. Our main focus today was to add image to our website, and we've even added a marquee here, which is floating, something like a floating text. We have a image here that we've added, 2 images that we've added, and we have our about us and other things and overview and other things. So we have created a simple website too. So if you really push forward, all right, if you put this into practice a lot, you begin to understand and do something crazy out of this. Okay, so this ends our presentation for this video. Okay, so I'll urge you to try your hands on it. If you have any questions, we'll just hit in the description box. Okay, I'll respond to you accordingly. However, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe and share to your friends. Okay, so see you in my next video.